Hello everyone, this is Engage UK with a review, and today I'm going to review the Graham Farish by Bachmann Granite City Express set. This set is now 3 or 4 years old. I think it was originally announced in 2007. Like most things by Graham Farish, it's unlikely it actually came out in 2007. I'm not sure exactly when it did come out. It certainly hasn't been listed since 2009 in the catalogue, although if you hunt around you can still find it. Some shops still have stock, or eBay occasionally these will turn up on eBay. Comes in this very presentable box. Now Farish are the only UK company that does complete sets like this, which include track and controller and everything. Basically everything you can buy as a present, or for yourself if you want to take home and set up and get a little railway running straight away. The only other main manufacturer in the UK, Dapple, do things like book sets, locomotive and carriages or locomotive and wagons, but they don't do these complete sets with the track and everything all in one box. The contents, item number 370102, by the way. Contents, Black 5 locomotive. It's a Stanier Black 5 locomotive, originally an LMS locomotive. This one is running number 45360, and as you can see by the picture here, it's in a British Railways livery with the early emblem. This would date the locomotive from 1948 to approximately 1956, although occasionally some of the locomotives would have worn this emblem a little bit past that date, as they were gradually changed over to what became the later crest, British Railways crest, which stayed on locomotives from about 1956-57 to the mid-60s. It also comes with 4 coaches. These are Mark 1 coaches in maroon. As you can see here, you've got 2 second-class coaches, or possibly composites, 2 brake coaches, 8 pieces of curved track, 2 pieces of straight track, Bachmann transfer and controller. So everything you need in there. Let's open her up. The lid out. The first thing you see inside, you get a little kind of wall chart thing with various Farish diesel locomotives, wagons, etc. Some of these are still available, some are not. Coaches. Yeah. Here's some of the sets that are available at the time when this was available. A couple of small freight sets, a suburban passenger set there. I'm going to do a review on the diesel freight set because I've got that one as well. I should do that in a later date. Elizabethan passenger set, which is similar to this in terms of coaches, but it's got that's the later crest there on the logo there, and the diesel fuel freight, which is a nice set there with 4 TEA tankers. The one thing you'll see on here that you can't unfortunately get anymore is over here, Graham Farish locomotive chassis. They don't do them anymore, and that's a real shame and a real thumbs down from me for Farish, because you really, if you want to do kit building or build any type of locomotive that isn't available ready to run, then most of the kits require these one or other of these chassis when you build them. So I think it's a real shame that Farish have stopped making those available. So there's your little mini catalogue. Next comes the guarantee and a little card if you want to join the Collectors Club, the Bachmann Collectors Club. And finally, in terms of literature, a little guide shows you how to put the track together, care, how to attach the power lead to the track, maintaining your locomotive, what to do to get short circuits, that sort of thing. Pretty straightforward. Some advice on storage, etc. Anyway, let's start with the locomotive. So here it is. It comes in a hard plastic case to protect it. It's a Stanier Class 5, as I said before, running number 45360. Sorry, having to read this upside down. This running number is exclusive to this set. This is not the current issue of this locomotive. About a year ago, Farish re-released this in a DCC ready version in both LMS and early and late BR livery, with a socket for a DCC chip if you wanted to run it on DCC. This is the pre-DCC version. It was also available in LMS and early and late BR, but this number was only available in this set, so it was exclusive to this set. But even though it's not the very latest version, it's still a pretty good representation of the locomotive. The only slight criticisms I would have of it, the front, it's a common one on lots of locomotives, N gauge, double O gauge, whatever. The front pony truck, the wheels are a little bit under scale, and that's just to enable it to negotiate some of those tight curves that you get on the model railway that you don't have on a real railway. Some of the newer locomotives, for instance the Jubilee that Farish have done, they come with an alternate front bogie, so if you have got slightly wider radius curves you can change that over, but this one doesn't. It just comes with a slightly smaller pony truck in the front there. Just open it up, get rid of this plastic protection on the front there so you can have a closer look at it. There it is. Hopefully that will focus. It's a nice representation of the Black 5. Really like the British early emblem than the late emblem. That's just nothing to do with the the years it covers. Just taste. Just the emblem's nicer basically. So that's the locomotive. You get, as I said before, 4 coaches. One is there, lengthways rather than sideways. Here's one of the open coaches. Again, they come in a plastic sleeve. Just get the reflections off that. And although, again, they're not the very latest release, because in the last 6 months Farish have started re-releasing these Mark 1 coaches in a new tooling with a slightly, a better underframe and more detail on the roofs and stuff. I mean, they are absolutely phenomenal for the scale. They really are great. I'm going to do a review of those later, but even so, these are still pretty good representations, and they look really nice, all 4 of them running behind the Black 5. The running numbers of the coaches are also exclusive to this set. Farish obviously released these separately, these brake coaches and open coaches, but they would have had different running numbers. I believe these running numbers were also used in another set, the Elizabethan passenger set, but only in the set. So if you did happen to have 3 or 4 of these separate ones and you wanted to add them to this, you'd have a prototypical rake with all separate different numbers on all the coaches, if that's important to you. Most people might argue, well, look, it's so small no one's going to notice it, but if you're going to do it and you want to do it really accurately, then that's worth considering. This set, I don't know what the original recommended retail price was. I believe it was probably £100 to £120. You can pick this set up for about 80, which is what I paid for it. It was brand new, which I think is a pretty good deal. These, thinking about these, go for about £15 each, new. The locomotive, the new version would be about 80 to 85. So you're getting, a good value product there. When you consider all the separate parts, and you can sometimes find either the locomotive or the coaches available separately when people split sets up. Last thing on here you've got is your track. It's compatible with Pico set track. It's not the best looking stuff. I mean, it works, it's fine. I wouldn't necessarily use it if I was building something that I wanted to look really realistic. The rail height is too high for one thing, to look really prototypically correct. You get the transformer for the controller here with a UK socket on it that plugs into the controller there. This is the controller itself, direction and speed there. It's a standard 12 volt DC system because it's not DC. And this is the track clip. This is the power clip that plugs into the back of the controller and then clips onto the track to power the trains. So that's an overview of what you get in the set. And I'll say, maybe not the very latest version of the Black 5, but a very good representation of it. Okay, it's not DCC ready, but it's not that difficult to convert to DCC. There are plenty of companies that will do it for you if you're a bit wary about doing it yourself. Set £15, £17.50, that sort of price, plus the cost of the chip. So not too expensive to do that. And although the coaches aren't the current Mark 1s, or quite the level of the current ones, they won't look too ridiculous next to the current ones. They're still pretty nicely detailed. So I think overall a very good little set as a starter set. And even if you don't really want the controller and the track and all those other bits, for the price you can pick it up for, it works out very reasonable. You know, £80, something like that. You're getting 4 good coaches, which could be £15 each, and well, you know, the Black 5 itself on it, you know, could easily be £50, £60 on its own. So yeah, a good set. Obviously the next thing to do is to put it on the track and run it. So I'm going to attach a video of it running at the bottom of this. Thanks for watching, and if you've got any comments or complaints or questions, then please comment down below, down there. Thanks very much. So this is what it looks like on the track, and I think you'll agree it's still a very good representation of the Black 5. And here are the coaches behind it, all 4 of them. Obviously it's a very small oval circuit, so while the Black 5 is on a corner, so is the rear coach. Let's start her up and just see her run round. So there you go, that's the Granite City Express set. A couple of things that could be improved on it. I spoke before about the front pony truck, a little bit under scale. And the other thing is pretty obvious when you see it running, and that's the gap between the coaches. And in a later video I'm going to show you how to replace the couplers that come with this for something that's going to give us a much more prototypical gap. A smaller gap between the coaches, and it's going to make it look more realistic. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.